The perception out there in many schools of thought is that the administration is not showing that it's fighting corruption, in the sense that the last administration was known to have dropped some ministers accused or implicated in one way or the other with corrupt acts. But then this administration looks as if it's holding on to these people. For instance, the Minister of Labor was accused of being a part of a company that was implicated in one thing or the other, but he's still there. And why can't they resign like it's done in other climes?
Can I respond?
Yes.
Now, you see, when we're on air, on public air like this, and you run this type of program, and you mention people's names, you have to be extremely very careful. Because sometimes it becomes unfair. An allegation is not by itself a criminal act. For instance, you mentioned the Minister of Labor. By coincidence, I happen to know a little bit about this matter because I also spoke to the Minister of Labor. This, what the statement you made just now is not correct. The Minister of Labor owned a company, was an owner of a company, and on the 9th of March 2010, he resigned his membership of that company. He sold that company for a fee of 300 million and collected money from the people he sold them to. And now those people now did business with NNPC, and that business did not start until 6 months, around July or August, since they have sold the company in March. Now, can you seriously and honestly and sincerely hold him responsible, for an act that is done by a company he sold completely, is no longer part of, does not control, all right, and now has a problem with anybody? No, I'm not holding grief for the minister, but for this government, if everybody that is accused of a wrongdoing is fired, there's nobody left, to be in government or even to be appointed. These, allegations have to be investigated. People must be patient, otherwise we will destroy people's names, and it's not fair.
Okay, just a moment. We're running out of time. Let's get Dr. Omalaile in, if you will. Just a moment, Dr. Okupe, because he says, in spite of all, they're doing something right. Do you think they should refocus this fight against corruption, and how do you think they should go about it? Should they continue the way they're going? Because he says, look, we're going on nice and easy.
No, I will disagree with that. A situation where you're just setting up committees, one committee today, another one tomorrow, and then they are coming up with mind-boggling results, and at the end of the day, we don't know, where you are going to end up with these results. You saw what happened to the Ribadu subsidy committee. It was thrown out. They said it's rubbish at the end of the day. I've not even gone through that report very well, but when you say a man that is known all over the world for his anti-corruption crusade, that has helped United Nations to establish anti-corruption organization in at least 10 countries all over the world. If you are just throwing out his report like that as trash, then you are sending a wrong signal to the outside world. So I don't know, all of these other results that they're getting, reports, committee, that the pension scam has been on even before Jonathan get there. That does not stop him from, but let us just go to, one thing he has said is let us go straight to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is that we have a constitution that does not in any way provide a basis for the fight against corruption. One, I was at one of the sessions last 2 weeks ago, this constitutional amendment session that they're having public hearing all over Nigeria. And by the special grace of God, I was opportune to speak at the session in Ijebu-Ode. As a matter of fact, apart from the unions, only 2 of us spoke at that session, the Awujale of Ijebuland and myself. And I saw an opportunity to fight corruption, by instituting anti-corruption, what I call templates within the Constitution. As a matter of fact, after my address, the honorable member for the House of Representatives that comes from Ijebu-Ode Central constituency came to me and wanted a memo. I spent 5 sleepless nights preparing a memo for this young man. Up to today, I don't have an acknowledgement. What I decided to do at the end of it, that look, I cannot waste my sleep, and then this man will just throw this memo in his trash can. I decided to send it to Senate President, Speaker of the House, everybody that is responsible there against next year. But I'll tell you what, The presidential system of government that we are running is too expensive and provides a lot of room for corruption.
Okay.
One, I'm coming. We must review that presidential system of government. Two, we must practice true federalism. I'm telling you, I will relate all of these things to corruption if you want later.
Let's quickly get him in conclusion on all of this. Dr. Okupe, do you think we should, would you suggest or advise that the government of the day continues the way they're going in the fight against corruption, which you say is going on well, or do you think you need to adjust one or two things, perhaps in the light of Dr. Omolayele's suggestions now?
Let me first of all, I'm very disappointed and angry with Benga Omolayele because he's somebody I know very well and I have a lot of respect for. How can Benga sit down, this morning and say that the body report was deficit and rubbish and thrown away? When in actual fact, every Tom, Dick and Harry in Nigeria knows that the body report has been accepted by the government, it has been accepted by the Federal Executive Council, and what paper is being prepared for it, so that the recommendations have been made public, and then, it can be acted upon. It is not, these are the things that Nigerians do that are not fair. It is an unfair statement, it is not right, and he or more people should know more than, should know better than that. Now, talking about, what the government is doing, I am telling you things by name, and it's not because, I'm just a spokesman or I'm an advisor of the president. I know that the government is taking the issue of corruption extremely seriously. I said something at the press conference last week. The president told the chief of naval staff after the swore him in. I am aware because I was there. He said to him in private, he said, the only reason I'm appointing you is for you to stop by all means at all costs, the all theft, in the Niger Delta. And he said, I will give you back in to any length. When you see a man talk like that, off the court, in private, it does not sound like the person who wants to fight corruption. We must continue. Corruption is not something that can be fought by only the executive or the legislature or even the courts.
All right.
All hands must be on deck. That's why I said that this is a wake-up call, even for government to do more than it is doing now.
Okay.
And I know that this government is going to do much, much more than it's doing now.
All right, then.
To fight corruption.
It's gone personally.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Okupe. We'll have to let it go there. Dr.
quickly,
Okupe, Special Assistant to the President.
Before
you talk about the political parties?
Yes, he said a few personal things there, which I quickly need to respond, really. Honestly, Dr. Doyi Okupe is my brother. I respect him so much. But then, when you are now telling me to throw, international best practices, when it comes to issue of corruption, and I set them aside because I belong to the same party with him, and I have not in any way insulted the president. I have not insulted, I have not derided them in whatever they are trying to do. But what I'm saying in effect is this: the truth must be told. And if we are fighting corruption, we must look at international standards. If you can remember the case of Pet Murdoch, the hacker,
Phone hacking scandal.
Thank you. That happened in England, was it not just last year? And then we have people who are resigning even before they were tried. People were resigning from his newspaper, the editor, the sub-editor, etc. They are not being tried. So if you are telling me that until people are investigated and tried, when you are accused of corruption, the international standard best practice is to first resign. If you are then cleared, you can come back. Don't let us put sentiment into this thing. Yes, he's my brother. I'm a member of the party, but the truth must be told.